Hey everybody, here we are again for another tutorial. Today we're going to be learning about a program called Microsoft Access. And Microsoft Access allows people to make what is called a database. A database is used for sorting and retrieving and filtering different types of information. And so the first thing that we're going to do here is kind of show you how to get started with the program. So you might get a little window that shows up the first time on here, and then just go next past this, however you want it to be set up. Okay, so here we are now in Infotech class. The first thing we want to do is we're going to go over to where it says blank database. I'm going to click one time. I'm not going to double click, and it's really important that you tell your program Access where to save your database to get started. You're going to choose your Infotech folder, but for me, I'm just going to have mine save it to the desktop, but you're always going to want it saved to your Infotech folder so nothing happens to it. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. It shows you here, this is where I'm having mine set up, so that's where it's going to be. You would just go in and you would say your letter drive, and then you would go to your iTech 300, whatever number that you have, and you'd open it up. Okay, and then that brings us here to our first view for a database. And so the things that make up a database are a table, which is what we have right here, and then a field, which is another name for a category, and a record, which is all of the fields that you would enter in for information for a certain entry. Alright, and you can do this a lot of different ways, but the way that I would recommend to start a database is to go up to View and then go to Design View. And I'm just calling this one Demo since it's just for a tutorial. And they always put the first field name in here for you, and they call ID an auto number, which means that you have a number assigned to every record that you're going to use. If I go underneath that, I'm going to go to field name, and then I'm going to type in last name, or actually let me just do this. I'm just going to type in name, and then for the data type, if I am typing in different types of names, the type of data I'm going to be using is text. And then over here for description, you just give a little direction. So I would say, like, type in the name of the employee here. I'm just going to do this one for like a simple business thing. And then I'm going to say department, text again. I'm going to say, what department does this worker work? Then after department, I'm going to say position, text again. What is this person's job, for instance? Then I'm going to say hours worked. Okay, so here, if I'm going to type in a number, I'm going to choose for the data type number. How many hours did this worker work? And then I'm going to say salary, and they have an option in here for currency. So I'm going to type in how much per hour does this worker make. And then maybe the last thing I would say is date hired. I don't know. I'm just for an example. And they have an option in here for date time. When did this worker start? Okay, so again, my database here is just about for a job, for record keeping. Okay, and then I'm going to go up to save. I'm going to click save, and now I'm ready to go back to my data sheet view. So I'm going to go up to view, I'm going to go to data sheet, and you'll notice here are all of the options in which created in our design view. Okay, so ID, I don't have to put anything in there because it's auto number, so here I'm just going to say I'm going to put in a name. Department, I'm going to just say hardware, and then I'll say manager, hours worked, I'll say 40. Let's say for salary, I'm going to put in 9, and it automatically puts a $sign there. And then for the date hired, I'm just going to say January 3rd, 2013, and it'll automatically format this for you because that's date. Okay, so then I'll go back here, and we'll have this person work in the same part here, and then we'll just say customer service. Say this person worked 25 hours. We'll say they made $8 an hour, and then we'll say this person worked in 5/15/2013, and so we have that name there. And then we'll go here, so you can kind of see what we're doing with this here. I'm just making these up on the fly, you know, so it's nothing extravagant, but this is just kind of an option of how to use this. And we'll say this person works in Okay, so here's just something to get us started. So I'm going to hit save, and so this is the start of a database. All right, now let's say that I wanted to change something. Let's say I wanted to add a new field into this. I could go back up to view, and I could go up to design view, and then all I have to do is go back down to where I was, and you could put in anything else. Like I could say employee of the month. Maybe there's going to be a yes no category. Has this person been employee of the month? And then I'm going to hit save. I can go back to datasheet view, and then I can look at this, and maybe these two people have been employee of the month, and I can check that. So it's another example of sometimes your database may change and you need to add a new field, and we could do that. So again, this is a table. This whole area here is a table. Each one of these up on the top is a field, and then this is a record. This is record 1, this is record 2, this is record 3, record 4, and so forth. So that is how you can get started with your database for Microsoft Access in our information technology class.